we will do everything to change the history. I'm born to take the challenge. For me, most important in handball is to change the tempo. I could learn this part, how to control the game. Women understand better women. I decided before Olympic game to stop. Hello, I am Bojana Popović, head coach of CSM București, and welcome to Handball Mastermind. Actually, it was a surprise for me after this, what happened with Budućnost. Of course, I was in the contact with some clubs, but I had family and everything what we need to decide together. And then it was difficult to move in the middle of the season, but they always support me. And like always now, they also did one more time that we decided to try this, to take this chance, because I could see from this side, from Montenegro, that CSM have the good team, good players, and this could be a good opportunity, because I could see how I can pack everything together and how I can put them in situation maybe to survive this season and to be there where we are now. So I'm so happy that in the end it was good that I took it and take the chance. I could see that for the first, I had in the team players who I know from the earlier, Tanya and Gina. They was my players in the Budućnost, and also Lera was with me in Budućnost, and then Lisa I know. They speak all four, they speak my language. And then I had, like you said, I was also coach of the national team in this period, and 3 girls from Denmark. And then I can also speak Danish, my language, and also English. So then give me a little bit more like that I could be a little bit more relaxed. When I came, I will feel more comfortable, because I could feel that the girls who is here, I can use on the good way, because I knew them. And then it will be fast. It can give fast results, because that we knew each other. And then this was the first thing that gave me a little bit more like to be positive in this situation, to choose to go in the half of the season in situation where CSM was not in the group on the good position. But I could see from the first moment that I can get from all those players more. It can be, if I think what I had, it was also a big challenge for me when I should change from assistant coach to first coach after Corona. It was very difficult period in Budućnost, and then also I took soon after this, when I took Budućnost, I took national team. So it was after actually first my job like a first coach. I took 2 teams in the same moment, and it was also big and difficult challenge. And now it's also second one, but I think I'm born to take the challenge. Also when I changed the clubs when I was player, and now I think it's funny to try something what is not easy, because everything what is easy is not funny. I spoke, of course, with some players first who I know to a little bit find out how it's situation in the club, how it's on which things I need to do most, because they know atmosphere from before. And then what I could see that I need to work on this actually self-confidence. They lost this, and they lost like individual players, and also they lost like a team. So we should push. I should push them to believe a little bit more in everything what they are doing, and to believe in themselves. To give them some things that they will start to be better, and then to push them to really train those things and to use from each player what they are best in. And then they slowly build up this, like I said, self-confidence. And then this was very, very important for me from the start, to tell them that we can catch the gold for the season, and we can win all the games until quarterfinal, and we can for sure be directly to the quarterfinal, because I could feel this, that we have, if we prepare good the first game, this was most important for me, Odense, to win after the New Year, then we can get good rhythm to rest of the games. So it was like this. This I could see during the season in some very important game. They was on this high level, what I expect really from some players here from the team. Some games was 2-3 on the highest level, some other games was under 3. And then I could see also that all team work very well together. And then when you see after the game statistic and list of the goals is standing, then you could see that everybody played good handball this day because we put the ball on the different place. So it's difficult to play the defense on us. The last 3-4 games, I could feel also that they are starting to do things more and more alone without me. So it was my point to put them in this situation. They need me less and less. So if you want to play on the highest level, on the Final Four, in this atmosphere, you need to give them everything until this, and then it's them who need to take responsibility on this tournament because I cannot give all information. Everything happened fast. So they need to start to believe in these things, what they are thinking, how they are use the ball, and who is the responsibility for this, calling the action, to know why and which action she will call. Most of time I work on this to put in those heads that they are choose alone some things, they really think the handball, and then of course I will help with I really feel on the court that they are lost a little bit. And this, when I come on this level that they need really less help from me, then I'm really happy without, it doesn't matter if it's a game we won or we lost, because I could feel that they are there where they need to be. It's difficult, of course, when you want to put some attitude in the girls, of course they have them inside, they just need to wake up this. And like I said, when I have 2-3 girls who I know from earlier, of course I use them to help me, because this takes a lot of energy from the coach if I need to fix many things, like you said, in the short time. But if you come to the training with the big love, with the attitude from me, if it's coming, and then if they see that I will give everything to them and I will fight all the way for them, then you fast can recognize that they are also wake up and they want to give the back. So this is easy if you really have this inside. You can see me, I cannot sit on the bench like I'm quiet, and because I know that they need me. I know that this attitude is coming from me. And then it's like a virus, virus is going fast if you are every day on this level and you want to give them everything. They feel this. I didn't change so many clubs when I was player. I was in Denmark 8 years, so I really knew this culture, because I was there in the best part of my career, and then I learned a lot of things from my coaches, both Jakob and Anja. From Anja I learned many things, how to be the leader, she learned me those things, how to use my players around. So actually I was not really coach there, but I was in Anja's period, I should be coach on the court because she asked me for this. And then when I changed to Viborg, Jakob was a young coach, and he also should put many stars in the team together, so I could learn these things from him, how he did it, how he give actually us space to speak, to say, to use the some on tactics time for help him. So this part was also how to work with the stars. So I could learn also this something from him. And then also I had Ajic, and he was really big worker. And then I also learned from him how actually you need to work like a coach 24 hours. You need to be in the handball. I was also like a player like this. When I started to play handball, I was actually wing until 15 because I was too skinny. Trained in my home city Niš, Serbia, and in this period, this men club, Železničar, men team, they had 2 left wing, for me best in the world at this moment, because they was in the national team, and then also they learned a lot of things from Mile Saković. He was actually one guy who started with all those things. And then those 2 was in front of me in the hall, and I was every day, 1 hour before when they train, I was in the hall watching those 2, how they are shooting those shoots. And then when they are finished, I was fast on the court, take the main ball, took this goal out, and then I use 45 minutes, 1 hour, just to use the hand on this way, how they show me. And I ask every day, and I was really happy to learn those things because I could use this on the wing. And then after this, they moved me to play the back because I was growing. I was like sad because I started to cry how I can use my shoots from this, everything what I use from the wing. Then I recognized that I can use actually also from the back. And then I start to use this also from the back. And then it's this big beginning how I started with this. And then when I went to Budućnost, I just continued to learn by myself because it was easy. Start was there, and then I should just continue. I learned many things there, during those 4 years, because we played at 4 times semi-final of the Champions League. And then it was always close, but we couldn't catch the final. And then I was a little bit disappointed, and I said, I need to do something, I need to change, to find some club where I can go and win Champions League. And then Anja Andersen came to Podgorica with this project, Legacy project. They was in second league, and she had a plan to win everything, next year, because she came year before in the first league, and they was number 5, so we should play ehf Cup. And she was trying to also take some good players in this moment, Mia Hundvig, Camilla Andersen, Ausha Friedrichs. She picked up all of them, and then project was good for me. And then I said, okay, I need to move this step forward. And then in this moment, I really, after those 4 semifinals, I was on the good level, but something I was missing there. When I went to Legacy, it was really good decision, because those players who was there was also very experienced players. I was 22, I was very young. And then we start this season, first season, we were together, many years together, because Anja put this very fast on the good level, and then we won this first year everything. So in this season, first season, I was very important, of course, but I could learn how to lead the team, I learned so many things from those Ausha Friedrichs, from Camilla Andersen. I learned many things, how to be actually professional in this handball world, because Budućnost was professional, but not that level like it was in Scandinavia in this moment. This season was ehf Cup, and next season we were very ready to go next step to win the Champions League. And this other years was, like you said, history, because we won everything from Anja. In this period in Legacy, I could learn this part, how to control the game, how to use my players around me, how to lead the team to those trophy, and how to use players on the right way. Because Danish girls, they was really, like I said, in the system. They like the system, and they will do everything for the team. If it's running back, they will run back. But we had a mix a little bit with Balkan girls since Legacy, and this was perfect, because we were a little bit more like creative, and this creativity with these hard workers was perfect for the winning the titles. And then when I moved to Viborg, it was many stars there from Norway, from Germany, from Denmark. Almost all Danish national team girls was there. And then I moved there from Legacy. It was just easy, to use all this experience from before to put in this team. And then only things was important when I moved, to put the ego from all those stars down. And Jako was good in that. I didn't have this ego, because I always play for my teammates, and I always play for the titles. I didn't play for myself. Of course, I know what is my job, to do the things on the court, to score the goals, but in the end, I know how to use also those players around me. So we were very good, like a team in the Viborg, because to put all those big names on one place, it was not easy, because everybody are very important in the national teams, and also they also won some titles there. And then this part was for me in Viborg very interesting to have in my career and in my experience, what I could use later, because I could see how the team with many stars and big ego can work. I had a contract with Viborg, 3 years more. We just signed this new contract, and then I didn't play for the national team, any national team, from 2003 to 2009. 6 years I was out, because I had some injury in the knee, and my doctor said to me, if you do all things with the 50 games per season in the Denmark League and Cup and Champions League, and you go to the national team, you will play maybe 3-4 years more maximum after when I was 23. And I decided, okay, to get a little bit break with this, because I didn't see that this national team in this moment, Serbia and Montenegro, could win something. And then I didn't want to use energy on this, because it was very difficult to pack everything together. In this moment, when 2010, they have in the country project that they want to have the big team in Budućnost, to make the strong team, which will win the Champions League, to try to win the Champions League. And then during the Budućnost team, we can build up also the national team, Montenegro, for the Olympic game, to try to go one time to the Olympic. This was very interesting for me because my dream was to go to some Olympic, but I knew that it was difficult with this in this moment with the national team if I don't really put a lot of energy in this. I decided to play for Montenegro, and then I decided also to move to Podgorica to play for the Budućnost because I need to be close to those players. I will be in the national team and to try to do something. So actually it wasn't planned, it was really they should take me from the Vibor. They should pay a lot of money to take me back, you know. I was sad because I had very good time in Denmark. And on the other side, I was really happy to try this new project, to do something what I really dream about the Olympic game, you know, to do something in this way, to try to go there. First year was not easy because we had a good team, and everything what we prepared and what we did was for the second game, because it was very, very hard to do in the same year, because it's a lot of job was there to fix everything, to put on the place many things. And then we used actually first year for this, and then second year happened all those things, historic things for the Montenegro to win the Champions League, Budućnost first time in history, 2012, and then we won the silver on the Olympic game, and then we won the gold on the European Championship. I can say it was good decision what I did, and I'm happy because I did it, but it was not easy, it was hard. I decided before Olympic game to stop, you know, so no one could change this, because I was thinking that it's really everything what I did, it's everything what I dream about. After Olympic game, what I can dream more? Many Champions League, many titles. And I was thinking that it's time to make the family. And this was really, really, you know, for me big. I want to stop in the moment when you are on the highest level, and then this was perfect moment when you win something big to say goodbye to the handball. I didn't have any energy inside my body to say this is next gold. And then when you don't have this anymore, why to continue to play? Many teams call me because I was in the good age, actually 32, and I was in the good form after Olympic game. And but I decided really in this moment before Olympic and before this season, I decided it will be last. And I didn't want to change this. So I'm happy that I finished in this moment. So I have now two kids who is growing up with me in the whole like a coach, and they are on both in the sport, and my husband is here and they support me all the way. So this was good decision. I didn't think so much about the handball in some months, and I was thinking that I will really be far away from the handballs at least 1-2 years, because I was really, really tired, and everything what I did with all my soul, with all my heart, with you know, I give everything to this handball, and I said now it's time to rest. And then after some months, of course, I get a little bit boring, and they call me from Budućnost to be sport director around the club and to help them. And then of course I was in the hall on the court with Adžić more, and I was a little bit really sport chef, you know, sport director. And then I could see that I slowly start to be some kind of assistant coach, and to be more involved in the handball, to be on the bench on the Champions League. And like this was my handball coach career start. I take this chance to learn, to be the coach. Those years with Arjo 8 like assistant coach. And after this, when I get the chance, I think I was ready, because I had a lot of experience. When you see the things from the other side, like assistant coach, you can also learn many things. And when I took the team, I was actually in the team before, because I changed Arjo on this position, and I was with those girls earlier, many years. I think this communication is very, very important, that I can learn from them actually when they come with some idea, and I'm one who will support always those ideas to give them that they continue to give them this info, that they need to continue to think the handball in this way, because I really want the players think more, and they are not independent of the coach who need to give all the time information. Defense is very important. It's true, and when I do the defense training, I never go direct to the defense. I really do many exercises before we start to do the defense, and those exercises always to do the things 1-on-1, 2-on-2, big fight. When I make analyze for the team we need to play with, I always go in the every details. So they really know exactly what we do, how we do, who will do, how far we go out. So everything, which side we will close more. So this part, it's for me, it's in every details. So when we prepare the game, we knew everything. Okay, we can lose some duels 1-on-1, and okay, then we help on this way. So they know how we do this help. And but like you said, everything now it's like too fast for me. I think sometimes it's very important to run fast back, wings to run fast in the contra. But when they speak about this fast handball, I'm not really for fast handball without control, because many girls make many mistakes because of this. I'm more for the good handball, where is the speed there, but speed on that level that you can choose right things. And then, independent of the player, speed need to be there. Because when I said to them, I say always to them, for me, most important in handball is to change the tempo. So you can go to the middle fast and then change the tempo, go down and see the things, and then change the tempo again. So then, in this way, we will get less technical mistake, and they will choose right things. Because in the highest speed, I was player, and I always tell them, I couldn't see anything, and if I couldn't see, you can also. So, believe me, go down in the tempo with this transition or fast break, or so you need to go down in tempo and look at in front of you, where is the space? So change the tempo, and of course you can find a good solution without running 100 kilometers per hour, you know. If you don't have good attack and you lose so many balls, then you don't have the defense actually. You cannot run back. Now in this good, fast handball, those mistakes, they are finished fast with the contra, and then you don't have the chance to play the defense. So defense is important for me, but attack is also very important. For me, sometimes when I was in Budućnost, it was most important. Why? Because with the young team, if you don't play this attack good, you don't have a chance to play the defense, because they will punish you. So actually focus in the attack need to be on the 150%, so you can do the good chance, and then you have time to run back. Relation is different. I didn't have this close relation with my coaches, because it was, how can I say, okay, I had actually, because I was one who they spoke most. Anja was close to me, also with Jakob, I was also speaking a lot about handball, and also with Ajo. But now it's changed everything. I really want to not be close to them. I'm not friend with them. But when we are on the court and we train together, we need to be close to each other, because I really want that they feel that I'm there for them, and I will do everything for them. I will also change myself if they need me to change in some situation, because it's about them in the end, not about me. We need to win together, but I'm there for make them better on the court. So they can see this from the start, that I'm there for them. So this relationship, it's very important for me, that they know this. If I'm on the distance, how they can know this? So also distance need to be when we are out of the court, okay? You need to that I'm also coach on your player. But if you need the help, it doesn't matter which time in the night, you can always call me. I will always be there for you to help you. It's not the same. I can use this part from the leadership from my time where I played, because many things is the same. But now I'm on the side, I'm not with the ball in the hand. So it's difficult to decide with the ball when it's difficult period of the game or some problems on the training. So you could fix this with the playing, with the make organization for them. So they get a little bit more peace and they get the situation, and it's easier. Now you can only speak with them, and you can lead them on that way, that you just give them some good information in this period when they need to have peace, you know. And then it's good to change and speak with the players, and to give them like some support when they are falling. And I do this all the time. When I change them, I give them info there on the bench, and then also in the defense, I have one person too who I always catch that can be the leader in the defense and who is in the attack. So I'm very open, and I want to listen everything what they have to tell me. And then I can use this during the game, because I know how they are thinking. And also if I can catch this level that we know enough each other that they can lead the game alone without me with some small info, then it's my biggest win. I love that I see some young players that they are coming on the court after 30, 40 minutes when they was on the bench, and they are not afraid, and they have attitude and character to go on the goal and to don't be afraid for anybody. This is what I can see in some young players here. I like those players who really believe in themselves, and it doesn't matter. I said you can make mistake, better to make mistake because you decide to do something, and you make mistake because you are afraid. This I don't like, really. If you are afraid, then it's not good something. I miss creativity. Really, I miss this because when we was small and child on this playground, it was really funny to find some solution how you can, do some things to make on the other way, Now it's everything straight, systems, they are listening to the coaches, and it's okay, they need to listen to the coaches, but also when they go out of the system, those who I can see that they want to go a little bit, I'm really happy because they have some idea. And if you stop this in the young age, you don't let them to make mistakes. When they start to have those ideas, they will be in this box and they will continue to be same like all other players. But if you give them a little bit more space to make mistakes, if you have the time to give them, if you have some liga where you can give them chance to make some mistakes, then you can make and create one creative players. They are ready. We didn't have so many games during these months. In May, we will not have so many games, so we have a lot of space to train, really train together, and to put everything on the place. So we have a lot of time to make the tactic, to prepare every details. So I can see that motivation and energy on the trainings are always on the highest level because they really know where they are going. They was waiting many years for this, some of them, and club CSM was waiting 8 years. So now it's time to really be strong there up, like we spoke about mental. I really think that we have big chance to do something big, and many girls will leave after this CSM, and I think that they are staying strong together now because they want to do this together, and they will not be this team. It will not be next year same. All teams are good there. You know that if you want to win Champions League, you need to win the 2 games. It doesn't matter which way. But of course, it's best to don't play first game with the GR because they are really strongest team, and they are playing on the home court. This support, we are always count like 8 player, on the court. So they have this support extra. Metz is young team, and we have good chance. CSM lost some last 4 or 5 games they lost from them. So now it's a good opportunity and chance to give back. So they have extra motivation because they didn't won in long period with them. We will do everything to change the history. So to win on this big tournament, it's a good time to win there. I think that before we make this qualification for the Final Four, already I think 2,000 people in Romania, they bought the tickets for the Final Four because they maybe believe more in us. I don't know, but we will have good support there, and of course I can feel in Bucharest there are many people speaking about this. They are very happy and they are proud how we did it, and the atmosphere in all city, it's very beautiful. But this is just one step to the Final Four. Was waiting for this 8th year. Now it's a second step. We need to go there and be on this highest level. They don't need to put really so high pressure because it's Final Four. They just need to enjoy the handball and play the handball like they did in the games before. So this is what it's my job to do, to relax them a little bit and to put them in a situation that they really just go there and enjoy in everything what we will be there. It's not easy because, like I said, we are mothers, also wives, and it's a lot of time you are not home, but you also have a lot of work home with the kids, with everything, with the school. In the end, I have a lot of work with the school, and it can be one of the reasons because it takes a lot of energy, this job. So if you don't have really good support from the family, it's not easy to be on this highest level. I had this, and I'm lucky girl, the lucky woman, that I have this support also for my kids now, because they are really happy to see the games, to be on the games. And I wish if in the future can be more these women coaches, because women understand better women. So in the end, it's also important, this part. I don't know really how handball will look, because now it's more powerful and more running. I don't think so this part will stop. And it means that this creativity will be less still. I miss a little bit this part, and I really hope that some rules will change, so we will come back a little bit to play a little bit more tempo down, and to show more quality in every phases, so you can make the players to have more this creativity, more beautiful handball, not only fast. And I don't know, this with 7-on-6 gives some teams some opportunity who don't have the good attack. I miss a little bit some rules, more fixed rules in this referee stuff. This I really miss, like basket, like volleyball. Now it's totally clear.